Moss Ironworks, a masterpiece released after 8 months without a single major update. This map is packed with environmental storytelling, unique objectives, hidden details, and some of the best world-building Guts and Blackpowder has ever delivered. Today we're going to break down everything from the lore behind the map to the small details you probably missed. But first, a quick lore drop. The map takes place at Moss Ironwork, or Moss Ironworks, a real ironworks in Moss, Norway, established in 1704. For over a century, it was one of the city's largest and most important workplaces. Within the game's timeline, the events most likely occur in late 1814 or early 1815. Norway is shown as an independent state rather than under Swedish rule, and the story appears to draw inspiration from the Convention of Moss, signed in August 1814, after the brief Swedish-Norwegian War. When the map begins, your group has taken shelter inside an old barricaded house. Judging by the defenses, they've likely been surviving there for quite some time. But by the time we arrive, the infected have already broken through. As we fight our way through the town, another grim detail unfolds in the background, the very place we're heading to. The final defensive position is slowly being overrun as well. By the time we finally arrive, the infected are already pouring into it. It's a subtle detail that shows nowhere remains safe for long. Unlike maps such as Berezina or Kaub, where you're escaping an immediate military disaster, Moss Ironworks tells a different story. It's about survival through industry. By this point, much of Europe has already fallen, fighting the Blight for 2 years. Instead of desperately searching for a bridge, a ship, or another escape route, the survivors discover something far more valuable, a functioning ironworks. The entire mission revolves around restarting the foundry long enough to forge new weapons, giving the survivors one final chance to fight their way out. And that's what makes Moss so fascinating. For the first time, we're not scavenging the leftovers of civilization. We're rebuilding it. People aren't searching abandoned battlefields for muskets anymore. They're making brand new ones. It's a small detail, but it tells us something huge. Even after the apocalypse, parts of civilization are still standing. Humanity is still capable of organizing, manufacturing, and fighting back. Let's explore Moss Ironworks.
Honorable countrymen, observe these practices to preserve the livelihood of you and your fellows. The pest we find ourselves opposed to is of the most communicable nature. Among the multiple early visible symptoms are psoriasis, fever, erratic behavior, and cyanosis. In these early stages, it is important to distance oneself from other individuals. In the latter stages, a complete failure of one's bodily functions will take place, and an individual will be unable to control their impulses. It is of most importance that one reports such a sufferer to the nearest rifle brigade, and do not approach any such victim under any circumstances whatsoever.
My love, we still sit here in the town of Moss. I wish to write upon happier times. Alas, our condition is deplorable. The bitter winter has arrived, frost and cold. How I wish to warm myself by the fireplace in your presence. Shocking news has occurred from Fredrikstad. The men garrisoned there have marched through Moss, bound to Christiania. They had held the citadel successfully, but the surrounding city was devastated. An evacuation was called, and the garrison's men, guns, and provisions made out with little loss. The fort, however, was deemed untenable against the pest. Upon this, the cemeteries are now exhumed. Houses are not vacant. An exodus has occurred since our arrival. Many's destination involve Christiania, Bergen, or the simplicity to make north. A pest, not of the necrotic matter, has taken hold throughout the garrison, but of most fatally the remaining townspeople. The king has now provided the resources to construct a pathetic but tenable hospital within the former banks. We have been deemed traitors.
You, brave sons and folk of the land, should take care not to fall to the dishonorable and ill-intentioned ways of those who dare not to place himself among the ranks of the eager and brave. Make haste, my good fellow. Make to the nearest enlisting officer. It is your duty.
Skal vi få skyss?
Vil dere bort herfra? Ja, det vil vi alle. Jeg vet ikke om jeg er i stand til å hjelpe dere. De siste geværene nordover, der oppe har vi satt opp en flåte, og den lar vi drive ned fossen. Derfra venter et skip som skal ta både geværene og oss til Bergen.
Skal vi sende ned fossefallet?
Vi pleier å fløyte tømmer der, så forhåpentligvis holder flåten seg flytende.